Chiefs are going to win. Fuck my life. See you next week.
Welcome to Hooked on Football, your go-to podcast for everything NFL. Whether you're a lifelong fan or just getting into the game, we're here to break down the action on and off the field. Each week we'll dive into the latest news from around the league, including game recaps, picks and predictions, analysis and insights. From injury reports to power rankings and everything in between, we'll keep you connected to all things NFL. In order to keep up with us, please like, share, subscribe, and follow, because once you're hooked on football, there's no going back.
Well, been a pretty rough start to the playoffs for you boys.
Yeah, not great.
Obviously, Detroit upset this weekend. On top of that, Chicago and Lions' former offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, just agreed to a deal to make him their next head coach. Reports are that he's already been working on forming his coaching staff, which is kind of annoying since they just got done with an important playoff game.
I guess.
But I digress.
That's a couple days he could have had to work on it, so that's long enough to say you're working on it.
Yeah.
But
rumored to be interested in New Orleans interim coach Darren Rizzi for their special teams coordinator position. Also rumored that he might be taking Lions offensive line coach Hank Fraley with him, which position coaches, and I know a lot of people not familiar with those names, but
obviously
all the offensive linemen in Detroit have spoke very highly of Fraley.
And obviously whatever he's doing was working, because that line was, nothing short of phenomenal this year.
Yeah. Actually, Frank Ragnow in his exit interview said that he doesn't want to play anywhere without Hank Fraley. So that's probably rough news for him.
Oops.
Yeah.
Well, Ragnow going to Chicago, confirmed.
Whatever. I don't even care anymore. Go ahead.
The Chicago Lions.
Yep. No, don't say that. Yep. No. So, yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, some other coaching news. Indianapolis hired former Cincinnati defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo for their defensive coordinator position.
Fired by the Bengals recently. Yeah. Obviously, they underperformed this year. I think he's a good defensive coordinator. He's one of the guys that I would have wanted the Lions to be looking into if Glenn leaves, which sounds like is a probability more than a possibility at this point.
Yeah, considering he's
being held hostage.
Being held hostage in New York currently as we speak.
And if he gets out of there, then the Saints are rumored to hold him hostage after that. So,
poor guy.
Going back real quick, there are rumors, no confirmed reports, I don't think, but that Ben Johnson got a $13 or $14 million a year contract. So, hard to say no to that, even if you have to go coach the freaking Bears.
Yeah.
Plus, new stadium in a couple years. I'm not sure exactly how long.
Yeah, I don't know what the time.
If he makes it that long.
Yeah.
It's another perk.
But
we moved on from that.
Yeah. We'll discuss that in another episode in the off season.
More NFC North coaching news, though. Minnesota and head coach Kevin O'Connell agreed to a multi-year extension today. Saw that coming. They weren't going to let him get out of the building after taking Sam Darnold and that team to the 14-3 record in playoffs, even though they were obviously upset in the first round. And now they're working on extending their general manager, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. So trying to keep things intact there. We'll see if Darnold's back also. Bring the whole band back.
And Demencies.
That's it. If I ever get a chance to meet him, I'm going to say it. Queefy.
And Demencies.
That's terrible.
Other news, not coaching related. Washington's right guard, Sam Cosmi, tore his ACL in that divisional game against Detroit. Obviously out for this season.
I don't know. They said if he told his teammates if they make the Super Bowl, he'll be out there.
Yeah, he'll be out there. No, he's out for the rest of this season, and then also, probably likely a little bit of next.
Yeah. Definitely most of the offseason, if nothing else. Yeah. There was one more news bit with coaching news. Yeah. New England just hired Josh McDaniels for his third stint as offensive coordinator, so he joins Mike Vrabel's staff there. I mean, he was good both times he was there, hence getting head coaching opportunities. He even made Mac Jones look pretty good as a rookie. So give him a chance with Drake May.
Yep.
Never a great recipe with a young quarterback to change offensive coordinators every year, but
what they had going on wasn't working. So
yeah, well, I kind of doubt he's going to get a third head coaching opportunity. So if he's good as an OC, he'll probably end up staying there for a while now, unless Vrabel gets terminated at some point. Then McDaniels will probably be out also. But that's for at least 3 months down the road.
McDaniels, right? McDaniels' career, a little bit of foreshadowing.
What do you mean?
Ben Johnson.
Oh, back for three stints as OC.
Well, it just like
return.
Great OC, not great head coach.
Yeah,
just my prediction.
All depends on who they get to replace him, and I mean he's got his work cut out for him because even if the Bears get better, we saw the toughest division. Well, one of two. Yeah, of the toughest divisions in football.
Well, actually, apparently the NFC North sucks.
Seriously. Best winning percentage during the regular season of all time. Can't win a playoff game. No. 0-3.
Yep.
Although, seeding-wise, Lions were the only team that should have won. I mean, Minnesota was favored.
Oh, sure.
Because Washington won their division. They had the home game, but yeah. But that'll do it for the news.
Now let's get to Pigskin Prophecies, the segment where we unveil our picks for this week's NFL clashes, break down key matchups, analyze the stats, and make our bold predictions. Who will rise to the occasion and who will fall short? We did really bad this week.
I mean, I feel like most of the experts picked closer the same way we did. Games did not, like you texted me, not a single one of the teams that we've rooted for in the playoffs has won a game yet, I don't think. So that's rough.
Lost.
I didn't care too much who won between the Rams and Philly, but the rest of them.
I like the Rams better, so I was wanting them too.
The rest of them, every team I've rooted for has lost, and college football, the teams I was rooting for made it to the championship, and the team I was rooting against won the championship. So really good.
I'm going to quit rooting.
I'm not going to lie and tell you I'm going to quit rooting because I know I won't.
Yeah, same. I don't remember exactly Wild Card Weekend, but I know most of the teams I wanted to win ended up losing. And then
I was rooting for Washington over Minnesota, I guess. I didn't think about that.
Oh, yep.
Which now probably shouldn't have done that. Not that I made a difference. But,
Right. But, yeah, this week every single team that I wanted to win lost. Starting with the 4-seed Texans at the 1-seed Chiefs. Kansas City was favored by...
I thought you were a big Chiefs fan.
Yeah. It's favored by 8.5. And they covered just barely 23.
Just barely.
23-14.
Actually, the spread moved to 9.5 before the game, and when they took that safety on purpose, that screwed a lot of bettors.
The script...
I didn't bet on that game, and we picked before the spread had changed to that, so... We gave ourselves a win because that's the only one we got.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Yeah, that. I'm trying to remember that. Oh yeah, that was all the fun officiating.
I just didn't even put that in my notes because I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me irritated. But
yeah, I mean exactly what we were expecting though.
Yeah,
Chiefs started the game the same way the Packers did, just better. Big
fumbled
kick
opening
return,
kickoff,
fumbled it, but then they recovered it.
Because, of course, they did.
Right.
They don't ever get bit in the ass by their mistakes.
No. And, and once that happened, like, you knew, everything's going to continue to fall their way. And sure enough, although Houston did give a little hope with the stop, held them to a field goal.
Yeah.
They were driving on their next possession, or on Houston's first possession. You're like, maybe, because Kansas City still looks bad.
Yeah. I mean, we all, we didn't think Houston looked that good most, if not all, of the season. And the fact that
I thought
they gave away
doo-doo.
7 points. They didn't have any turnovers, but they missed a field goal, or missed 2. One was blocked and missed a point after.
Miami Fairbairn is so bad.
Yeah. choked a little bit. So anyway, the Chiefs advanced to their 7th straight AFC conference championship game.
Which means we'll get a wonderful year of Ohio State champions and then Kansas City champions, which is gross.
Yay. But Mahomes remains undefeated in the divisional round. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Kelsey showed up for the playoffs. 7 receptions, 117 yards, touchdown.
Kind of.
Their defense
As
had
we
8
suspected
sacks.
early on.
So, yeah, kind of went Mahomes was fine. Obviously, didn't make any mistakes. Wasn't like spectacular or anything. But although he did earn a couple personal foul penalties, so that should go into stats. But here's some hope for us. The last 3 teams to win back-to-back Super Bowls and then advance to the conference championship in the next season lost.
Yes!
So the Chiefs are going to win. They will take on... We can't tell you that because you're here to find out who won the games because there's no way that you know.
You don't know. So, no spoilers.
Yeah. Just bummer.
Yep.
Houston, those are the worst games when the team you're rooting for makes you think for a little bit that they have a chance and then...
Yep. Also when they keep beating themselves.
Yeah.
Also when the refs...
So we'll move on to the next one so we can move past the next one. 6-seed Commanders traveled to Detroit to take down the 1-seed Lions. Lions are favored by 9.5. You made a bold prediction of Detroit winning 52-13.
They should have.
You were close.
There was no reason they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well,
other than
their defense
Jared Goff
finally looked like how I would have expected them to look with all those injuries. And no excuses, but they were...
It didn't help that Goff kept giving them the ball back, so the defense couldn't stay off the field.
Yep. Washington only punted once. They did have a turnover on downs and a missed field goal. 2 kneel downs, one to each half, but that's obviously not good enough on defense. And then Amik Robertson breaking his arm on the 10th play of the game, first drive.
Friendly fire.
Obviously, that takes the wind out of your sails even more. Rough.
It was gross looking.
Yeah, their Week 18 performance against the Vikings gave me some hope for their defense, but obviously that was false hope. Anzalone, it still looked good. He was about the only one.
Picture of the arm, and you remember the scene when Harry breaks his arm at Quidditch practice or whatever, and then why can't I remember his name? He tries to fix it and then turns it into rubber.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what Robertson's arm looked like, just up here.
Pretty gruesome. Thankfully, he should be healed in plenty of time for next year, assuming there was no ligament damage. I haven't heard much about it, but like you said,
broke right in half, so probably everything around it's fine.
Yeah, like you said, Detroit offense had 5 turnovers, 3 Goff interceptions and a fumble, plus Jameson Williams interception, which I don't know why you're having him throw the ball in that position, but especially. Like, obviously, you didn't work on his mechanics at all because he threw off his back foot right into freaking terrible
double or triple coverage. I don't even remember.
Yeah, the problem when you run a wide receiver pass is they only get the opportunity to throw a touchdown so often they're going to take it no matter what the defense looks like most of the time.
Pretty simple.
And he's proven that he's not very good at decision making. So, yeah, that's great. Go do that kind of shit with the Bears, Ben.
Please.
But, yeah, you can't win that way, especially in the playoffs. Jaden Daniels, obviously, very impressive. Dude. Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, they're set in Washington for a while.
I should have invested in some Jaden Daniels rookie cards before because the prices jumped big time.
Did they?
Understandably.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how much the departures of the Detroit coordinators affect them next season. I'm curious to see. Obviously, it'll depend on who they hire. But do you have anything else to add to that game?
Not really.
Yeah. Disappointing. I mean, you're not a Lions fan, but for me, very disappointing.
Also, at that point, who else am I going to root for?
Yep. Yeah, at that point, you're probably rooting for whoever you think has the best chance to take down the Chiefs, which probably not going to be a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, felt like the Lions at that point.
Yeah. So, but we'll move on to the Sunday games. The 4-seed Rams took on the 2-seed Eagles. Philadelphia was favored by 6. You had the Rams winning. I had them losing but covering. I gave myself a tie because it was 6. I don't remember how we've done that in the past. But
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. Also, I think the spread moved to 6.5 before the game, so then I also would have gotten a tie. So, yeah. I'm nice to myself. Philadelphia won 28-22. If I didn't say that.
Yeah, that. I for whatever reason, while I was watching that, just started really wanting the Rams to win, and shouldn't have done that. It's probably why they didn't. But
it's your fault.
It's my fault. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of as far as rushing goes, the Jalen and Saquon show. Jalen had that 40-yard touchdown run right off the bat. And then Saquon had a big one too.
Two of them. He had a 62 and a 78-yard touchdown.
Jeez Louise.
140 yards on 2 touchdown runs. That was 140 of his 205 yards or something like that. Yeah, they dominated on the ground. 285 yards total rushing, 3 touchdowns. That was pretty much the difference. The explosive plays and the turnovers. The Rams lost.
Stafford was mostly good, but
other than the fumble, he played pretty mistake-free. The final play, the 4th down, he threw it straight out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a terrible throw.
I don't know what that was.
No shot.
I mean, it was cold and out, but come on, give your guy a good chance.
Yeah.
I feel like if you take away, obviously can't take away plays, but if you took away those explosive plays and the turnovers, Rams probably win that game. I mean, their defense had 7 sacks, including
take away
2
the
by
scoreboard. It was really close.
Who was it that said that?
Micah Parsons.
No offense, but you're a stupid asshole. Jared versus a dog. He was in the news all week saying how he hates Eagles fans and how when he thinks about them, I forget exactly what he said, but the fans were giving it to him during the pregame, but he showed out. Philadelphia also had five sacks, including 2 by Jalen Carter. So they advanced to face off against Washington in a divisional matchup in the conference championship.
It did. Jared versus defense. Philly fans are
pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one at that.
I don't think anyone was giving him ish about it except for Philly fans.
Did you see the videos of that one at the Philly Packers game that was
calling that girl an ugly C word.
Philadelphia found him and
so they banned him.
Yeah,
good.
And then sent her some Green Bay merch. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was at least Philly's not totally classless, but their fans are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then did you have anything else on that one?
Nope. Last game.
3-seed Ravens at the 2-seed Bills. Baltimore favored by 1. It was Lamar's coldest game of his career, and couldn't do it. Well, he did just fine. We'll get to that in a sec. But they ended up losing. Buffalo won 27-25, so we were both wrong.
Yep.
But, yeah, that game, as expected, was very good. Lamar had a couple
2 turnovers,
yeah.
But other than that, he was pretty good.
Terrible pick to nobody.
Yeah.
And then his fumble, he basically just spun around and was like,
here you go, Von.
I put this here.
Would have been a scoop and square if Von Miller wasn't so old and slow.
Right.
He almost got stripped, too.
Yeah, guy came down with a good
I don't know what he was looking at. He didn't, never look behind him, wasn't being super strong with the ball. I think he just felt
25 again and thought he was taking it to the house.
He had no
Although
concerns.
I don't know how fast he was back then, but the dude that was running him down is fast.
Yeah, I don't know if he was more quick or fast. He had one of the best get-offs in NFL history when he was in his prime, but as far as top speed goes, I don't know. Who was it that caught him? I forget.
I don't remember. Running back, he runs 4.4.
Justice Hill, maybe?
Could have been. Because Von shared.
Definitely not Henry.
Put that clip.
I mean, he's fast. But
yeah.
I would have remembered if it was him.
Yeah, right. He would have caught him too.
Yeah. You would hope.
But he shared the highlight of him returning that, and then said how he thought that he had a touchdown, and then next shared a screenshot of that dude's 40 time, from the combine. It was 4.4, and he was kind of just making fun of himself, thinking that he was gonna be able to outrun him. But
Love it. I guess that's I wasn't even thinking about that pregame. That's a good reason. Another good reason to be fine with Buffalo winning, because I love Von.
yeah.
Plus, getting 3 Super Bowls with 3 different teams would be pretty sweet.
That would be.
I wonder how many players have done that. Not many.
Can't be very many.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Especially
be surprised if he was the first.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Especially at a starting position at a premier position.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, he's out of his prime now, but
I don't know. Dude's still a dog.
yeah.
Um,
When he decides to kick it in, he doesn't go
he waits till
100%
postseason,
every
it
play,
seems.
but yeah, he waits till postseason and
Or big
obvious
time.
passing situations.
But yeah, and then on top of the Lamar hiccups, Mark Andrews sucks.
Oh
They need to trade him. Isaiah Likely is good.
I mean, everybody was backing him up, saying that they wouldn't be there without him and
How?
whatever. But like,
When?
you can't do that.
He did the same thing earlier in the
How you gonna
season
live that
too.
down? Yeah. Big time fumble in the fourth quarter, I think it was, and then dropped the easy 2-point conversion.
It's right in
I mean,
his lap.
it was cold. Ball was
But it
hard and slippery, but
hit him in the hands
come
and
on.
the belly.
And
Right in
did
here.
you? I didn't even watch the video because I couldn't stand the dumb. But Nick Wright was
I didn't see
on saying how. I think it was Nick Wright. I guess I shouldn't put the wrong guy.
Did
on
it look
blast.
like Dracula?
Yeah. Whoever it was saying that. Oh no, it was Chris Sims. Was
Okay.
saying that Lamar Jackson made that 2-point conversion the hardest it could be. So it wasn't all on Mark Andrews. Bro, it hit him in the hands and the chest and the wiener. Come on.
I am no Lamar Jackson apologist.
No.
Because I think that early in his career he was getting
Way too
from
much
some
love.
people way too much love. I think his last MVP was a freaking joke.
Yeah, look at his stats.
This year though, Lamar
Justified.
is a dog, and there's so many people that hate him for whatever reason. I'm not sure what it is. Subtle.
Very subtle. Because he has
But-
skinny arms.
Yeah, his real skinny arms. And you just sound so stupid.
Yeah. Pretty much every Lions fan that I talked to about when Lamar was kind of in a holdout or whatever, how they didn't want to give him the big contract and they told him to go out and look if he could get it from someone else. I wanted the Lions to trade for Lamar Jackson. Pretty much everyone I talked to said that was a stupid idea, that Goff was the guy.
Goff?
Well, if Lamar took Goff's spot, I guarantee thay'd win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe not with the defensive injuries, but be better off than they are now.
No, I as a Packers fan, I love that Detroit fans and Dan Campbell are. I mean, I guess I don't know what Dan Campbell's true feelings are. I know what he says out loud,
Right, yeah.
But are too dumb to realize that Goff is your weak link.
Yeah.
So
On offense, at least.
yeah, yes. So yeah, hold on to him as long as you can. But as someone who just likes football, you gotta do. That's what you have to address, because it doesn't matter how if the defense was that bad in that game. If they had a actual good quarterback, they still would have won that.
Yeah, 5 turnovers and you only lose by 14.
Yeah,
5 turnovers and 1 forced punt,
Yeah.
and you only lose by 14.
Yeah. No, Goff's not it. If he's comfortable and you're not playing for anything and you got Ben Johnson, yeah, he'll play well. Anyone
The only way I can sum up how I feel about him is he will never be the reason you win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He's good enough to win a Super Bowl if everything around him is on offense is perfect and the defense is pretty good, which they were not.
Mm-hmm.
But just if you have an opportunity to get an upgrade, or I don't know, you got to bring someone in to sit behind him and learn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's Hendon Hooker or not. I've heard rumors
Maybe.
I heard rumors before that Ben Johnson might be interested in trading for Hooker, but with Caleb Williams, you're not going to do that.
No.
So yeah. Anyway, I didn't want to go back to that, but somehow I did.
And we ended up back there.
Yeah, wasn't Josh Allen's best game either, but he stat wise, but he did
No.
enough to win.
Yeah.
2 rushing touchdowns and avoided the mistakes, which is one of the big things in playoffs, especially in equally matched games like that one was.
Yeah.
So they avenged their big loss. I don't know what the score was, but Baltimore dominated Buffalo earlier this season. Buffalo responded, finished the season 10-0 at home. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, they have to go on the road the rest of the way, so that won't help them, but pretty cool.
Please, Josh, just do it.
Yeah. Bills have been eliminated 2 of the last 4 years by Kansas City, which includes an overtime loss in 2020. So we'll see if they can get it done this time. I think that was the game where they had a 3-point lead with like 16 seconds left and let Mahomes get in field goal range to go to overtime and then lost. So if we have to watch something like that again,
I'll cry.
We won't be back.
No.
So you were an impressive 1-3 on the week. I was way better.
You were
1-1-2, which brings you to 3-6-1, 35%. That's pretty good if you're playing baseball.
Yeah.
I'm at 5-3-2, 60%.
Which is really good if you're playing baseball.
Really, really good. Yeah. I would take that in most areas of my life. But yeah, that'll do it for the recap. So let's get into the conference championship preview.
Yeah.
Since we have to.
Only a couple games to pick this week.
Yep.
So yeah, both Sunday games starting off at 3 p.m. We've got the 6 seed Washington Commanders at the 2 seed Philadelphia Eagles. Mm-hmm. Philly is favored by 6. I can't decide if I think this is gonna be a good game or not. I want to trust Washington.
I do too.
But I'm scared too.
Yeah. I couldn't get to where I picked them to win, but I think they might keep it close.
I think I did get to where I picked they win.
Did you?
Yeah.
I would be perfectly fine with that. Although I think Philadelphia has a better chance of beating the Chiefs if they make it, so
that's true.
Kind of rooting a little bit for Philadelphia, but either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really trust either of them to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The only thing I do trust is Jaden Daniels.
There you go. You got Washington winning?
Yeah, I'm going to say Washington winning. A little bit with my heart. Also, I think if Jaden can keep playing like he is, that they should be good because Philly hasn't been impressive yet this postseason.
Well, their rush game, but
yeah, sorry.
Which
Saquon's been obviously great.
Is my key to the game, which obviously that's pretty easy key to the game to pick. But
Brian Robinson's better.
Commanders' rush defense has been terrible. They gave up 200-plus yards to Detroit, which obviously Detroit, Gibbs.
Yeah.
By the way.
Washington did beat them once this year.
Made it sound like Montgomery was healthy and then gave him like 2 carries. Killed me in fantasy.
Yeah.
But, I think Barkley ends up being a little too much for Washington defense to handle. I don't think Hurts and Philadelphia will make the same mistakes that Goff and Detroit made. So they're not as explosive, but I also think, like I said, that they're more disciplined and Hurts will outperform Goff. So I have them advancing to their second Super Bowl in 3 years. So we'll see if they can get it done this time. See if we get a.
I just really want a rookie in the Super Bowl.
It would be sweet.
It would be so cool.
And I like Jaden Daniels, so if he was the first one, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to
a rookie to win it.
If it was Caleb Williams or something like that. Which,
if it was Caleb.
Yeah, right.
If it was Caleb, we wouldn't be doing the podcast ever again. Because I already don't want to talk about football right now.
Well, I hate the Chiefs more than the Bears. Because the Bears have never done anything to make me hate them.
I know. I just hate them, though.
Yeah. I feel like the Packers and Bears are a bigger rivalry than Lions-Bears. For one, because the Lions and Bears have sucked for most of my life. But
yeah.
So, yeah. I got Washington losing but covering. I think Philadelphia. Actually, I think Washington scores late to make it a little bit closer, but I think Philadelphia might have a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, if that is the
I don't know, but then I say that, and then I'm thinking Jaden Daniels is not going to let that happen.
Yeah, but also if it comes down to that where they're trying to, like, come back, I don't see Saquon not getting first downs to run the clock out.
Yep.
But I don't know. We'll see. Come about 5:50 p.m. on Sunday.
What time was the second game?
6:30.
So we got the 2-seed Bills at the 1-seed Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 1.5. I got the Chiefs. Don't want to, but pretty much every Chiefs game against a good team, I've picked the other team because Chiefs just don't look that good to me every time I watch them. So I'm trying something different. Going with the Chiefs.
I can't do it. Can't do it. I have to pick Buffalo.
Well, for one, you need to catch up on some picks.
That,
but also,
and I just don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
Too many bad things are happening.
Yeah.
We can't have a Chiefs Super Bowl too.
Well, we can.
And we probably will.
Yeah. Everything I see, except for the officiating and the scores, tells me that Buffalo should win the game. But, yeah. Pick the Chiefs, and I think they win by 6 or so. And then we'll see if they can, well, they'll have a chance to go for the three-peat, if I'm correct. And then the keys for Buffalo are going to be limiting Mahomes on the ground and then limiting Kelsey, I think, because offensively, if you make them beat you through the air to the wide receivers that they have, I feel like that's your best option.
Yeah.
I mean, Hopkins is obviously one of the best receivers of all time, but not in his prime anymore, really.
No. Very.
Worthy hasn't showed me a ton. So
Worthy does things occasionally.
Yeah.
But.
And then also, Bills are going to have to avoid losing the turnover battle, obviously. Mahomes doesn't make many mistakes in the playoffs, so maybe a blindside hit from Von Miller would do the trick.
Oh, my God. I can't think
Although he usually runs off the...
I can't think of anything more erotic right now than than that.
Fine.
But, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see in a few days here who's on their way to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
I
forgot my drink. I'm parched. Now it's time to dive into the Hooked Hierarchy, the part of the pod where we unveil our top 10 NFL squads, ranking teams based on performances, stats, and maybe a little bias. Who's rising to the top and who's slipping down the ranks. Get ready for some heated debates and some surprising picks as we break down the best of the best. Want to do our power rankings?
Yeah.
Okay. Feels a little weird to do a 4-team power ranking, but
show does. Also,
at least it'll be quick and we can get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Also difficult.
Yeah.
I think I did it. I think I did it right, but we'll see.
I'm going to guess that we have the same top 4, same order, but I will start.
I'm because of our picks earlier, I don't think we have the same order.
Oh, okay. Well, I have the Commanders at 4.
That was what I thought you were going to have it for.
We're not the same?
Nope.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. If I pick the Eagles to win, I would probably pick the Commanders below them in the power rankings. Although, not necessarily. But I did.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Not much to say that happened.
No.
They're the 6th seed rookie quarterback. So I think the Eagles are a little better, but I'll be fine. I'll be fine if I'm wrong.
Yep. I've got Philly at my number 4. I off the eye test, I like them the least. Oh, that's not true. I like the Chiefs the least, but we all know that whatever we're seeing from them isn't real. So I like them the least. They're just, other than Saquon, they're just I don't know what it is about Jalen. I just...
Also, what's up with A.J. Brown?
He doesn't do anything. And A.J. Brown...
Did he have one catch again?
I think he did nothing again.
Like, late-ish in
also,
the game, he only had one in.
Quit trying to convince everyone you've been reading that frickin' book on the sideline since week 6. There's a 0% chance that cameras haven't picked it up.
Right.
Until last week. You did it last week because you want attention because you're fucking diva.
I didn't see him with the book this weekend either.
I didn't either, but
they
were talking about the book so much now.
Yeah, it became number 1 on the bestseller list.
NFL Network, stop. You're so corny. Why is Max Crosby reading from the book and then Colleen Wolfe is doing Philadelphia translation into Philadelphia talk? Like, that is the dumbest segment. only second to your segment you did earlier with the freaking Australian accents, with Kurt Warner trying to do an Australian accent. He's so insecure.
That sounds incredibly cringy.
Shaken in the middle of it, said that this was so dumb, and then went back into it for another full minute. I'm like, bro, give it up. And then
pretty much everything on NFL Network is cringy except for the games.
Yeah.
And the highlights. Good Morning Football, I can't do it anymore. For
I
one, I don't get to see
football.
K. Adams.
Right. That wrecks it.
For two, Peter Schrager acts like he wants to be one of the boys so bad when he's not. He's just a nerdy loser.
Gain weight again and just be fun and lovable like you were.
Yeah.
Freaking lose weight and now you think you're this shit?
Brett.
I don't act like Peter Schrager. I still act like an idiot.
No, I'm saying gain your weight back.
Well, I know. I was saying I didn't lose it and then start acting like a dick. Maybe I did. I don't know.
I'm just kidding. Oh, we got apologies. A.J. Brown had 2 catches for 14 yards.
Oh. Hey,
on 7 targets.
I take it back.
That's really good.
I take it back.
He's a dog.
Take everything I said back.
He was definitely reading the book. He had 2 catches, so he was definitely reading the book.
Uh-huh.
Where were we? You had the Eagles at 4?
Yep. Okay. Which means I have the Commanders at 3. I just like Jaden Daniels. I think he's so dope. And, yeah, I think I want them there mostly, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I like Jaden Daniels in the draft a lot. My only reservation was that he had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas as receivers, and he wasn't going to have dominant weapons like that in the NFL, at least not 2 of them. Obviously, Terry McLaurin's very good, but just we can be glad forever probably that the Bears took Caleb over Jaden.
I was glad when they did it, and I'm glad it panned out exactly like I was expecting.
Which brings up another topic. I wonder, because I'm pretty sure Ben Johnson was offered the Commander's job last year. I wonder if he regrets not taking that. I mean, if he can turn Caleb around, then it is what it is.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem the sentimental type where he would have been sad about missing out on what happened in Detroit this year.
Yeah.
He just seems very cold and calculated, and so I think probably I'd be a little bit bummed. Yeah. I'd much rather be there than Chicago.
Right. They're in DC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking city wise, but DC and Chicago are both sweet. So.
Yeah.
But we keep going on rabbit trails. Were you done with your number 3 analysis? Analysis?
I didn't have much panel to go with
that. My number 3, I had the Chicago Bears, Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. I think the AFC teams are better than the NFC teams. I think the Eagles
feels like the wrong NFC teams are there.
Yeah. I mean, Eagles were my number 2 NFC team.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole season as far as how I viewed them in power rankings, I think. So not too surprised to see them there, although I am a little surprised to watch them play, see how they look, and the fact that they're still where they are. But, yep, had them at 3. And then at number 2, had the Bills. Obviously, picked the Chiefs to win, so have the Bills at number 2. Although, everything I see, they look better.
Yeah.
So hopefully we see that again.
I, too, have the Bills at number 2. I know I picked them to win, but, I mean, the spread obviously indicates that Chiefs are favored and supposed to be better. So I tried to
pick with your head on this one.
Yeah, I tried to pick with my head on this one. So got the Bills at 2, and then obviously that leaves the Chiefs at number 1.
You're kidding. Yep. Chiefs at number 1. Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. At least I got some money on them, so if I have to watch it, I make some.
Did you put money on them at the beginning of the season?
Nope. About week 14 or so. I put money on them, the Packers, and the Vikings. Because if I had to watch any of those teams win, I was going to be miserable, so I might as well make some money. Also put money on Ohio State. Turned 50 into 230 or something.
Nice.
And then I also put money on the Commanders, and I turned 100 into 500. So doesn't make me feel any better. I always think it's going to. Doesn't, but I guess I got
$500. Pretty fun though.
Yeah, it would be if it wasn't already gone. But that'll do it for this week's pod. Not sure if we'll do next week or wait till the week after, or do both with the off week between the conference championship and the Super Bowl. But
you'll see when they come out. Or actually, you won't because no one watches.
Because you don't. We'll see you when we see you.
Uh-huh.
Mom.